Hey everyone, how's it going? So today I'm just filming, well, kind of refilming, but not really. But at the beginning of this month when I first moved into this house with Zach, I did film my everyday makeup routine, which is the same, just products have changed because I've run out of the foundation that I used in there and the concealer I actually finished up in the video, same with the setting spray. So I wanted to refilm it today because no matter how much I edit it now and how small I get it, it just refuses to upload. Like, while we had internet here, because we don't have internet at the moment, it wouldn't upload. And then when we went to my boyfriend, so Zach's grandmother's house, wouldn't even upload using her internet, and she's got unlimited. So don't know why that is. So I'm going to start off with a new primer I have. It's the CoverGirl True Blend Base Business Skin Smoothing Primer. I just wanted to try this on because my hydrating primer is not doing what I want it to do, and it's just making my makeup, like my foundation and my whole base, I feel look terrible. And I don't want to be upset with my makeup every time I put it on because of that. And I've been wanting this primer for so long, ever since I found out CoverGirl were cruelty free. And I thought, you know what, I'll get it. Like, I wanted it that bad that instead of waiting another week to get it on special at Kohl's for $8.50, so half price, I just bought it full price. So yeah, it's actually one of those silicone-y feeling primers, which I have never liked in the past. I like something that feels like a moisturizer. These are the two foundations that I currently own, but also the ones that I'm currently mixing. So as you can see, this one, on camera it's looking a bit orange, which it is actually a bit orange, but on my face it looks fine. Then I have this one that is too pale, which is nearly done. Like, for some reason the line has only sunken down that far, but there's actually less. I think it's down to about here now, actually, full of product. So this is the Australis Stay Put Longwear foundation. But yeah, so I have this foundation and it's too pale for me, hence why I bought this originally, because I didn't think I could mix it with my Makeup Revolution stick foundation. Then I tried it one day and it actually worked really well, and I really liked the results. So I'm kind of annoyed that I got this because I'm not the biggest fan of it, or at least I'm not the biggest fan with it when it comes to the using my hydrating primer. But now I've got a smoothing pore filling primer. Like, it doesn't say pore filling on here, but like I'm pretty sure on the website or something. But yeah, so then I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I've got that in the shade Porcelain, and this is in the shade Snow. So if you're super pale, then this would be perfect for you, but it's just way too pale for me, which is strange because I thought it'd be perfect. And the shade up from this, which I think is like nude or something, or light nude, is orange. So they don't really have an in-between. If they did, I would be trying it again and repurchasing it, but they don't. So, but I do have some new sponges to try. I've never had like a sponge just simply meant for concealer. I feel like if I don't like using this for concealer and I just prefer to use the one sponge, this can still be used once this is all done for foundation, because it's still big enough. But I have these EcoTool sponges and this is gigantic. I've been wanting to try these for ages, but I've also tried to go the foundation brush route in order to be more eco-friendly, so I'm not throwing out a sponge every few months. And foundation brushes for me, from what I have found, just at least with the hydrating primer and these foundations, they don't look the nicest. So I didn't like it. But then I found that these EcoTools sponges are actually 71% made out of plant-based products, so that means that they are biodegradable. Obviously they won't completely like go into nothingness because they are a little, like, they aren't completely 100%, God, I'm losing my words right now. They aren't 100% like plastic free, but at least it's a better option than most sponges, which are like 100% plastic. This is such a big sponge. I don't know if it's actually doing a good job just for the fact that I don't have a mirror and I'm just looking in to here. I do like this flat bit though for blending it out. Feels more comfortable doing it that way. I'm just going to get my Soft Glam palette and open that up and see how it's looking. Definitely these foundations are like the lightest of light coverage, and it must be either of these foundations because when I've tried them on their own, they both do it. They just go into my pores. This primer has literally nothing. So maybe it's these foundations that are just, they like to get into the pores, or maybe I didn't let this primer sit on my skin for long enough. But it's not as bad, but I'm pretty sure it must be this primer. It's catching on my dry bits around my healing acne. Like overall the foundation does look better than it usually does with the hydrating primer. It just looks a bit smooth and less like clumps of the foundation everywhere, but still there's nothing for my pores, so that's quite frustrating, but it must just be these foundations. So yeah, definitely don't think those foundations are good. I then have this Maybelline concealer in the shade 5 Ivory because they recently brought out a heap of new shades, and I've been doing this new thing where you actually highlight your face. And again, when I bought this concealer, like, it feels like it's already running out, but this was actually like came in a package, so I don't know what's happening there, but it just feels like, again, there's this massive tube but not a lot of product. So now I'm gonna go on with that little sponge and see if it is even worth getting like little sponges just to do concealer, or if I can just use my normal sponge. This one feels more dry than the bigger one. That's one thing, these sponges feel so weird. I can actually hear it bouncing. Ooh, that all went on really, like, pretty smooth on my forehead over those little, like, small, like, just bumps you got. Like, they're not pimples, but they're just bumps. It is a little bit hard under the eyes because it's just still quite a big sponge, so like I don't see the point. I could have just made that sponge a bit smaller, but yeah, this one is like, it feels like I haven't wet it, but it feels cold. Now we are going to go in with this Australis pressed powder, but as you can see I've hit pan on this. Don't like this powder at all. Have to use it though. Like, I don't hate it as much as like the hydrating primer where I felt like I needed to buy a different primer. This still does the job and it does an okay job. It makes me look so, like, my foundation just looks so cakey and powdery, and it's not a nice look. I realised I forgot to conceal the redness around my nose. I do like those Ego Tool sponges though, they are pretty good. Alright, so now I'm going to just go in with bronzer, and I've got my Body Shop bronzer, which I'm pretty sure is just like called Honey Bronze or something like that. And I love this bronzer. Like, when I think if I own any Holy Grail products, this is the one thing that comes to mind. The only thing that actually really comes to mind, because I just love it so much. And when I was moving the first time this year, moved twice this year, I really loved it as an eyeshadow, like, because it just looked perfect. My blush, which is the Hot Mama by the Balm, and I don't have a blush brush, so I'm just gonna like try use this little brush. Alright, that's not working. I'm gonna try like this because it's way too big for my eyes, this brush. It would actually probably be a really good highlighting brush. But for today, I'm going to just try it on my cheeks. I'm just trying to... God, I didn't really blend out my bronzer that well either. I'm going in with my Mary Luminizer, which is such a good highlighter. I feel like with this blush though, because there's gold like shimmery stuff in the blush, when it mixes with this highlighter, it makes the highlighter look too yellow for my skin. I'm going to go do my brows. I've got 2 brow products now instead of just using a pencil, so that's another thing that has changed in my everyday makeup routine. But I just use this mauve pencil, kind of outline, draw on a tail, do the outline on the top. I really need to shape my eyebrows and just brush it through like this. So then for the eyebrows, before we set my face and go on and do the eyes, I now have, thanks to Zach, this little Essence Make Me brow gel thingy. I remember this being amazing, but since trying the L'Oreal one, this definitely does not compare. It's $5 though, and Zach was kind enough to buy it for me, and I had been out of the L'Oreal product for like almost a month at that point. So now I'm just going to go in and set it with this spray. I use a little fan to help the drying process. So then I'm going to go in with eyeshadow, and eyeshadow is real dang simple. I just go in with a blending brush and put this color in my crease like that. And I'm going to do that on the other eye real quick. And some days I just do that and then I pack some of it on the outer corner V area and then put that shimmery shade. But lately, so I can try use up this Soft Glam palette, I do go into Rustic and put that on the outer V. Just pat it like that while also blending it into the crease a little, so like it just blends nicely. I just do that. But now I'm going to get just a flat shader brush and then go in with that bronze shimmery shade. I'm just gonna go in randomly. So now I'm just gonna get that fluffy blending brush and with what's left go underneath my eyes. And then I'm going to get what's left of that shimmery shade and also try not to poke myself in the eye while putting it on like the first little part of my lower lash line. And then I'm going to grab a little brush like this and go in with that Rustic shade again and just kind of like join the two without doing what I just did. Then I go into the Urban Decay palette with this angled brush and I grab some of Virgin, which is that slightly matte like but also has like a little bit of shimmer in it, and I highlight my brow bone and also put some on my inner corner. And then I'm just going to put on my CoverGirl mascara. This is the Lash Blast range, but it's the Flourish one, and I sometimes curl my lashes, sometimes don't. Just depends on how I feel, to be 100% honest with you. And right now, I don't really feel like it. And then with my lips, like my eyes, it also changes every day on to how I feel. But the other day when I was up at the shops, I also got 2 new BYS lipsticks. And I have this cream lipstick in the shade Christy, and it's just a really nice like mauvey nude color, so I want to put that on, see what it looks like with a full face. God, it literally just melts onto your lips. It'll wind it up too, it's very weird. Definitely has those smells, you know, when you're a kid and you're putting on like that really cheap makeup and it's like that sweet but paint smell, kind of has that. And as you can see, like it's all melted on the top because of how freaking creamy it is. And it is like a really nice purpley pink kind of mauvey shade. Probably not something that goes well with this, but yeah, it's a pretty color. But yeah, that's my pretty much like everyday go-to look. This has been over half an hour, which I have to try take that down to 15 minutes, so if it seems a bit choppy, that is why. But yeah, that is everything I used, and I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. I guess this is goodbye. I hope your day or night, wherever you are, is well, and I will see you next time. Bye.